Making new music
reality
now,
of-
can it still really speak to them? Or they will just be like, nah,
I
this
think
thing
so.
good.
I think the reality of the gangsters also include potential prison. Young Thug is back home, brother. After 2.5 years of being in prison, he is back home now.
Wow.
A little bit of good news, right? I mean, I wasn't a fan of Young Thug, but after everything that has happened, I would definitely be listening to his next song or next album. But let me give you the background. So Young Thug was charged to court with a RICO charge. And, RICO charge, it will include a lot of different things, gang-related stuff, murder, drugs, everything is usually in this stuff here. And when it was charged, I think a year ago or 1.5 years ago, the state actually offered him a plea deal that would have allowed him to go home instantly. But to do so, he needed to plead guilty and then testify. However, his lawyer, they decided that they won't take the plea deal and they'll take it to trial. So the case went to trial. They actually had a jury. They played some of the songs in the courtroom, and some of the jury members were even dancing along. There were like a lot of epic. Yeah, exactly. There were like so many epic moments, like him rapping along to his song as well. This and that happening. There was even one time when the lawyer was fighting something in the court, and then the judge actually held his lawyer in contempt of court, and he was sentenced to weekend jail. Guess what the lawyer did? This guy, the lawyer is a white man, by the way. This white guy literally said, "It's okay if you send me to jail. I only have one request. Please put me beside in the same prison or same jail as my client." And also for him, in his closing statement, he actually said something that, for sure, one of the things that's taken away from that experience is that we can talk about better things in our music. Like, there are better things to talk about. And I'm curious as to how he expresses that. But what do you think about how the whole case has gone? And what are your expectations for Young Thug moving forward?
Okay. I guess that makes sense, because I was seeing all these memes about like Young Thug's next single, like, and I'm like, what is going on?
There was one who was like, "Hey, you see, I love God. Do you love God?
Exactly.
I love
saw
God."
on the shade room. I saw that slide, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I feel like this is definitely a win for him. Because especially since he can still pursue his music and still perform and still do what he loves. And it might be quite challenging with the whole, what's it called now, like good behavior for like how long again? For like
15 years.
15 years.
15 years probation.
For someone like him,
Like mistakenly
that
taking.
Yeah.
Imagine mistakenly smoking weed somewhere where you shouldn't, and maybe that already breaks probation.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like any step forward, like, in the direction of freedom, exactly, is a win. So, he should definitely take that as a win. And with the whole concert, or like, that's still quite hilarious. I'm curious to see. I don't know what he's planning or what he would have planned. But I'm curious to see what sort of music he comes up with now. Like, you felt like he is remorseful, or at least something changed in him. That would be nice, because I've always felt like we had this discussion on one of our episodes also, by the way, like the sort of music that is being produced. I think this was on the Diddy episode. Like, definitely it influences a lot of the people, and now we have conscious rappers, like you say, or rappers, but now seeing someone who started off as Young Thug with the sort of music he was making, now pivoting into conscious or some, I think that would be good for the culture. That would definitely be
It would be, right? Especially if he makes that pivot and he actually becomes successful at it. Because then you can actually really impact the community differently without affecting your bag.
And show people that you can also make this sort of music and still be successful, because people feel like you can only make.
I mean, Kendrick is a conscious rapper. He's quite successful, but again, Kendrick came in as the serious guy. Yeah, they came in as the guy that would like put two and two together, and you feel it and feel like, he's saying something there. And some people came in as like, hey, this is drill music, and how do you then move from that to something? Also, you're right. I forgot to mention that as part of the sentencing as well, is allowed to travel, I think, even outside the US for concerts for his music. So they're trying to not limit what he can do with the music stuff. However,
can he still perform like gang-related songs? So what does that really mean? Now he can still do music, but then
so what
can he only
to
perform new music now?
Exactly. Actually, never thought about that. Interesting questions. That's a very interesting question there, actually. So, guys, let us know in the comment section what you think. If Young Thug, now that he has to move away from this gang-related stuff, if we will still be able to perform some of his old songs moving forward. That's actually very interesting. Yeah, imagine performing an old song. Maybe they did and I just didn't see it. Because imagine performing an old song and this is him breaking probation. 20 years for performing a former E-track. Wow, that would be mental. But I guess I'm just exaggerating it. It can't be that simple.
I'm also curious to see, now moving forward, definitely he has to make a change in the sort of songs like that he's making. How does this impact his audience, you think? Is he trying to push everyone to this new narrative or this new story? Do you think everyone will fall off and he has to build a new fan base, or he can really carry them along?
I think if I would be him, right, I think he can carry them along and even gain new fans. Like for example, for me, I'm not a Young Thug. I didn't listen to him that much, but now he has my attention. Whatever he comes out with first, I saw it on Twitter recently, or he posted it yesterday or something. It looks like a feature is coming. Whatever he comes out with first will be a deciding factor for some people to think, oh yeah, he still got it. But some people like me will be like, I'm giving him a chance. I'll see if I'm listening to a fresh artist. Let's see what angle he comes. But it will be very interesting to hear his perspective of the experience the last 2.5 years. Again, a story of whether he's remorseful now or the other. Like when I read the tweet today, he said something like, oh, let's give these rats something. And I'm thinking, what do you mean by rats? I hope that's not another gang speak, but okay. Because sometimes I'm serious. Like sometimes I'm like, do you want to come out as the ad guy again? Or do you want to come out as the let's move forward, let's do better guy?
The improved Young Thug 2.0.
Exactly. I mean, he looks improved. Somehow he looks healthier than before.
Yeah, probably he has limited access to weed and drugs.
To drugs and stuff. Maybe he's working out now and stuff. So I'm really curious to see. But his first few songs, if I would be Young Thug's management, I would probably not even drop any feature or any songs. I'll just start working on an album, and he should have been working on
project
it already.
Yeah.
Like I will drop a project, everyone will gop it up, and make some new cash as well, whether it fucks or not, whether it fucks it up or not. But I really don't think it will fuck. I
hear you. Like, you're not a gangster, right? You're not like his typical core audience, So I'm just wondering how the connection with Young Thug and his audience, you know what I mean? He's like, can he still making new music now? Can he still really speak to them? Or they will just be like, nah,
I think so. Dude. I think the reality of the gangsters also include potential prison time. They would like to know the perspective of a Young Thug in prison. And I think see like a story that can be baked around, when I was sitting there in the courtroom, I can see a lot of things that they could come up with. There are certain parts of the courtroom that became viral stuff. You can start saying, oh, you saw that. But in my head, this was what I was telling myself. I get
what you mean.
I was there in the room. You wake up, they wake you up at 6, they put you to bed at 8. Your freedom is not, there's a lot that you can do to even bring that community along forward and also acquire more fan base in a new
while doing so
space.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really curious, because I would be interested in the reason I'll be interested in listening to what he comes up with first is that one time I ended up in prison talk. Like TikTok videos, but every time I'm scrolling, it's just like stories of people that have been in prison. And bro, when I heard the stories of people, I saw that life in prison is a different ball game. It's it's something else. And those guys, they became famous on the internet. Like the ones that decided to make content out of coming out of prison. It's so easy to, because it's like they lived on a different planet. It's a different rule. It's different rules in there. It's those guys have things to tell, and it doesn't matter which prison you go to. VTM, Nigerian guy.
I wanted to say that, but I just wanted you to learn. I just saw that.
Yeah, you come out of prison, it's like a different story every time. There's so much to share, and that's why I'm really eager to see what that guy comes up with.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.